In the crisp chill of winter, standing side by side on a snow-covered deck, the woman's eyes blaze with fury. "You monster! I don't need something like you!" she shouts. "Mom, why?" our main character whispers, his voice barely audible. The girl clutches her chest, eyes wide with shock. "You are not my child! Don't call me Mom! You are the son of my dead sister." The boy kneels, lifting his gaze to the girl with bewilderment. "Dead? Sister's son?" he stammers, hope flickering in his eyes as he whispers, "If you understand it, then just disappear." And he waits, praying silently that perhaps there's still a chance. Kneeling amidst the stark, white snow, the boy's silhouette stands in quiet resignation. Nearby, the MC, utterly numb, unable to comprehend the scene unfolding. His so-called mother yells, "Get lost already! Get out of my sight!" as she flings a flower vessel at our hero, shattering the silence with its impact. Petals cascade, blanket the earth in a fragile embrace. The girl's fingers stabbing accusingly. "You damn thing! Using magic without any casting or medium. Only a demon could do that, demon." In the silent snow, under dim moonlight, he stands before an ominous door as a woman peers out, her eyes cold and unyielding. "You can venture to the demon realm, or anywhere else, never return here again." Amidst the swirling snow, he trudges alone, his fingers numb with cold. Where now? No destination guides him. Only the endless white expanse stretches ahead. As he contemplates his uncertain future, the soft crunch of snow underfoot is his only company. In harsh times, our hero stole bread, feared for his life, and found solace beneath the city's shadow. Snow gently blankets the ground as a figure in a hooded cloak pauses before an imposing building, watched by wary eyes from the street. He wonders if this is his moment, stepping into the shadows of the back alley, a great salt town shrouded in mystery. He longs for safety and longer days, but the unknown looms ahead. The screen goes dark. The warrior's eyes flutter closed. Do you want to meet your end here? In the crisp winter air, the man in the trench coat stands alone, eyes fixed on the silhouette growing larger in the distance. As the man queried, "Tell me, your name?" The hooded figure responded softly, "My name, or my voice." The boy in the cloak lies on the brink of death, his voice a mere whisper. The man contemplates, then calls him Abel softly, hoping for a response. A hand rises, open and inviting, as if whispering, "Come with me, Abel," and declared, "From today onwards, you are my son." The old man kneels beside the young boy, holding his hand. A soft glow bathes them both. "You are my son." This was the moment when the light of hope shone through. The seasons have changed. More than 2 years since their paths crossed again. On the steps, engrossed in a book, his face void of emotion. Then, those words echoed. "I couldn't find you anywhere." Yet, he had been right there all along. In a quiet room, a man in a suit rests his back against a railing as a young boy sits on the floor surrounded by books. The old man leans forward, hand cradling his chin as he asks softly, "Did you go out and play with the other kids?" An important reminder follows in a gentle tone. "Don't forget to move your body too." The boy leans forward, intently reading a book. Behind him, the old man stands watchful. His eyes hold a mix of pride and something else. "That's enough," he says softly. "I haven't read the last book yet. To him, Garius is more than just a benefactor or teacher. He was like a father. The old man's eyes closed as he pondered, head tilted back into silence. How did you become like this? His thoughts drifted to the man, or rather his father, who ran the orphanage, a magician once renowned in the royal capital, now shrouded in mystery. In the dim light, the old man rests his weight on the staircase, head bowed, eyes lost in a distant past. Nearby, the boy reads intently, his expression thoughtful. This reminds me of my own childhood. Even our teacher struggled to understand those amber eyes. With no friends or family, the teacher took him in, teaching him everything. In the quiet of the classroom, the boy's eyes lock onto the pages, his lips moving in silent protest as he discovers the truth hidden within those words. The teacher likely remains unaware. In this realm, eyes hold greater significance than the person themselves. The hue of one's gaze reveals their mastery over magic, wind, fire, thunder, water, or wood. Amber eyes glow with raw power, encircled by swirling energy. This gaze can forge, fuse, and wield any of these abilities. That's why it earned the name, the demon's power, and faced persecution. Brothers and sisters fall into step, marching off into the unknown. The old man's grin warms him, fingers gently smoothing his son's hair as the child, a hint of a smile playing on lips, leans in close. I heard that, Abel, he murmurs softly. You used magic to surprise other kids. It's great you have amber eyes, even though you're small. But don't use it too much, my boy. The old man and the young protagonist sit on worn stairs, the youth engrossed in a book while the elder's voice echoes with wisdom. Use those powers to help others, not for yourself. As a magician, you possess something extraordinary. For others. The boy looks up, eyes wide with realization. After all, you need to live properly in this world. That way no one will be afraid of you anymore. That's right. In a dimly lit room, the teacher pauses at the door, while the student gazes down, eyes closed. At least he feels different. His words mere idealism, meant only to lift my spirits. In the dim light, she sits on a worn stool, pen poised over parchment. Beside her, the old man stands, holding an open book, his presence both comforting and distant. Let's review from the basics of granted magic taught yesterday. He begins, though his denial lingers in the air. Yet, this feeling of being cared for fills her with a profound joy. In the dim hallway, one figure points at another with an accusatory gesture. Stop! We're keeping this doll friend now? Playing with a doll? Ha! Even though you are a man, want it back. Then try to take it. It's irrelevant to me. But it seems this weak person is surrounded. You don't have shame. A girl in a school uniform stands defiantly, pointing forward with a fierce expression. Surrounded by a group of bullies, she cannot even be called a man. To gather together and bully the weak. The young man's eyes lock onto a fiery-haired girl as he contemplates her sudden appearance. Is this her first day? This girl, with hair the color of flame. Slightly younger than him. Maria's eyes widen in shock as a powerful teenager pushes her back, his words echoing dramatically. I am the one who will teach you the harsh realities of this academy. Maria, born into a knightly house with a heart for justice. A powerful teenager delivers a hard punch, the little girl's cry echoing painfully in the air. Where did your bravery go? The mocking voice rings out, cruel and unrelenting. From his vantage point, our protagonist watches with a mix of disgust and contemplation. There are times when children turn on each other, yet seeing this, it forces him to reconsider In a sudden, brutal twist, the powerful teenager snatches the little girl by her hair, mocking her with chilling laughter as he questions where her strength went. "This," he growls, "is our new doll." Meanwhile, the main character stands frozen, lost in thought. The girl doesn't comprehend this orphanage, where bloody hands and faces tell tales of loss. She tears apart the teddy doll, finding no peace here. She cradles her throbbing head on the cold earth. However, it had nothing to do with me. He stands firm nearby. He glances at the worn book, then hesitates. The right choice, he thinks, is to walk away. Yet the older man's smile haunts him as he contemplates using his abilities for something greater. In his hands, the young man clutches a book, his brow furrowed in thought. He feels lost, unsure of what's happening to him. Use your power for others. That's right. This human understands magic beyond comprehension. Wind blades spin wildly. He hangs, suspended in midair. Warrior charges, his blade cutting through the silence. The girl's eyes wide with awe as the powerful teenager struggles to comprehend what has occurred. As the young, formidable figure trembles before the burgeoning might of our protagonist, as the lights flicker ominously out, the room falls silent under a strange glow. The bully's eyes widen in terror and bewilderment. "Beware," they whisper, voices trembling. "He, the demon, is here." The girl crouches, eyes wide. A shadowy figure looms behind her. Wait, who? In this moment, even she seems unusually agitated. She huddles low, eyes wide with fear, as the light of the healing spell bathes her in its glow. Learn from this. Don't make the same mistake I did. Heal. Our hero stands confidently, holding a book, while a girl sits on the floor, looking up at him with surprise. This was our first encounter, and it was the moment when we met to face the demon lord together, destiny. In a dimly lit room, a young man sits solitary on the stairs, engrossed in a book, while another watches him with concern. Changes in Abel's life. She soars arms wide, while he turns pages unreadingly. The book shatters, pages swirling wildly like a storm. "Hey!" Girls storm forward with paper swords, their steps echoing. The boy in the suit remains calm, lost in the pages of his book. "Here! Oh!" As he moves in, she freezes, unable to dodge. The girl gasps at the hero's surprising strength. Meanwhile, Miraku wonders aloud why a mere scroll could surpass his blade's might. In the hushed silence of the orphanage hall, he studies the faces around him, his gaze thoughtful and tinged with melancholy. Life here, surprisingly peaceful. Half a year since helping Maria, that wild-haired girl with her whimsical laughter. A piece of paper zips through the air, startling the girl as the warrior hurls it at her. Her eyes widen in surprise. The boy watches with a mix of confusion and frustration. Why does Maria always try to launch a surprise attack on me? He thinks. Have you done something to the paper? He demands, voice rising with suspicion. He gazes intently at the paper, lips pressed thin. Did I offer discipleship for a strike? Could this be why? In a dimly lit classroom, Maria engrossed in her studies, her friend stares in bewilderment. She can't believe the rumors about Maria's magical abilities. Yet, she hasn't realized that these powers are branded as demonic. She glances up, eyes wide with surprise, then continues reading the newspaper as she greets, Hey, Abel! In the dimly lit room, One figure reads from a parchment, their voice barely audible, while the other leans forward, eyes wide with intense interest. This is about training human bodies using magic. They pause, looking up as if recalling a recent event. Axe high, he vaults over corpses, his resolve unshaken as he races towards the enemy lines. Meanwhile, back at camp, a voice declares, one great reward awaits for those who complete human body training, to fill the ranks where men are scarce on the battlefield. Of all, it was whispered that children were traded for astronomical sums, their souls deemed fresh and vital. The human body, so crucial, essential for advancing this technique. Her eyes widen in fear as he leans forward, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Something troubling has been unfolding. Be cautious when venturing forth. She clings to him fiercely, her resolve shining through. What happens outside doesn't matter. She bends over him, eyes wide with surprise and care. On the stairs, the girl's voice echoes. Abel? Not even replying, Abel. The man named Abel continues reading his newspaper as if unaware. Our main character wonders. Oh my God, this girl is insanely savage. We might spend less time than she imagines. Finding a caretaker will be much easier for her. The young man climbs the ladder, stretching towards a book, while the older man rests against the bookshelf, sipping tea. Hey, Abel, he begins. Is this about Maria? It's not often you get involved with other children. Why are you turning her down? As Abel speaks, the truth emerges. I am afraid. While recalling the past, it whispered of heart's vulnerability, able to look on with a heavy heart, knowing betrayal awaits. Maria's smile is bright and unafraid. As Abel noted, she remains innocent. The man in the suit sips his drink thoughtfully, pondering this revelation silently. A gentle hand caresses the head, fingers tracing through dark locks. Amidst the stacks of books, the young man looks up to Abel with a weight lifted from his shoulders. Hey, Abel. There are times when you share the same worries as others. A genuine relief crosses his face. The teacher's smile, eyes closed. You are my son. A profound statement. While I remain, you'll never experience unease. Abel stares into her mirror, her gaze filled with a mix of emotions. The deep laughter lines of the teacher, a gentle touch, fingers finding their way to intertwine. This hand, warm beyond measure, belongs to someone I know not well. In her cozy bed, the girl snuggles deeper under the warm blankets, a serene smile on her face. Everything appears to be falling into place. I have often believed that these tranquil moments are precious and worth cherishing. In her chair, she studies the newspaper, a worried frown forming as if the calm of daily existence is about to shatter on that very day. He rests his chin in his palm, lost in thought, staring through the glass as if seeing beyond. Abel approached the window, gazing out. What lurks beyond? The wind whispers through the window, rustling the pages of the book the boy in the suit clutches. It grows louder. Tonight is going to be rough. A young girl stands in a rain-soaked doorway, clutching her chest as tears stream down her face. What, Maria? Abel stands still, lost in thought. The girl runs closer, her breaths heavy, arms flailing for notice. The boy gasps, lifted by an unseen force as the book soars into the air. You can't just barge in here like that. Gentle hand on her shoulder, as Maria whispered. What shall I do? Tomorrow I'll be leaving, you know. His eyes widen in realization. I've been wondering why it's taken so long, but now it seems your time has come. In a room filled with books, Maria cradles a mug, a silent sentinel amidst towering shelves. She, one of them, yet the orphanage couldn't sustain her hunger for more than a fleeting moment. This place, a temporary shelter for children without homes. In the drizzling rain, as Abel stands within the cold walls of the building. A voice, "You needn't fear your destiny. It was predetermined from your arrival here." The girl grips her chest, tears falling. "No, I don't want to leave." Abel stands beside her, Maria's concern etched on her face, her gaze unwavering, tears glistening in her eyes. She listens intently to the warrior's words, not an ounce of doubt that she won't persist until she's satisfied. "I suppose I must ensure Maria remains content for now." Girl's eyes widen in surprise as he deftly ties his tie, while the other watches, puzzled. "Paper? Here, a parting gift." The boy grips a folded paper airplane, eyes wide with surprise and a hint of embarrassment. "Here, take this. Come to think of it, this is the first time I've ever acted on a whim like this." She clutches the folded paper crane, her eyes widening in astonishment as Maria speaks. "This will bring you much luck in the future." She gazes up at him, his presence a shield. "Hold this thought as I vanish into your memory." She grins brightly, cradling a delicate paper crane. As Abel whispers, "I think she liked what I said." Several times they exchange vows of future meetings. Then, with a final promise, they find themselves alone in the room. With arms crossed, the boy exudes confidence. Abel steps outside in the rain, boots clacking. The weather shows no sign of easing up. A blinding flash, thunderous boom as lightning crashes to earth, sending shock waves and flames spiraling upward. A burst of light, streaking across the sky like a celestial downpour. In the relentless rain, the Abel strides forward with unwavering resolve. The sky darkens, yet they press on, driven by an unseen purpose. This way. In the shadowed hall, the man in the suit stands. "Truth is, I've known this for a while. Until now, I couldn't bring myself to accept it." In an ancient library, the old man clutches a book, his weathered hands trembling slightly. A warrior watches him intently, his face etched with determination. "Teacher." A hand reaches out, clenching a scroll. "Kanu. Ino. Ao. Kao. Bang." In the quiet glow of the library, the man in the suit stands beside towering shelves, his gaze fixed on the books as the young dark-haired man speaks passionately. "I've known about this place for a long time now." Pausing, he glances at the paper in his hand, where he cast a locator spell yesterday, leading to Maria. In the sterile glow of the lab, a suited figure stoops, examining a lifeless form. "Why?" he whispers, no doubt about the gravity of his question. As Abel stated, "You're utilizing this hidden base to harness the magic of body training." The old man's weathered hand gestures dramatically as he locks eyes with the young commoner in the background. "Know how I feel. Sacrifices are necessary for the development of magic. You understand, don't you? But since you were born a commoner, you were stripped of all credit and sent to the frontier. In the books I had you read, it was said that you're a brilliant magician who has done much good." In the faint glow of candlelight, the old man grips his sword tightly as he gazes at a young boy who looks down, his eyes closed. "After all, I've been by your side more than anyone else." He pauses. "That's why you're my son." His voice softens. Yes, I understand." She lifts her hand, the sword behind her, a silent command. "You must strike her down. My final request." Girl and Abel exchange surprised glances as Abel softly asks, "What do you say?" A young man in a tailored suit stands atop a wooden box, gripping a sword bestowed by his teacher. His gaze meets those of a girl with a bandage over her mouth, her eyes wide with anticipation. The man in the suit speaks softly yet resolutely. "I understand," then adds, If that's what you want, teacher. Abel lunges, sword slicing through the air. The girl recoils in shock. A long-haired figure thrown back, his locks sliced short by Abel. As the blow struck his teacher's hair, there was a moment. Then the teacher queried softly, "What is the meaning of this?" A man in a suit raises his sword, eyeing the teacher, while a girl lies motionless in a coffin. Abel rushes forward, shielding Maria. In the quiet hum of the ancient library, the youth raises his sword, eyes fierce and resolute. "I've changed my mind," he declares, voice steady, yet charged with determination. "I'm going to fight against the master of magic. Let's fight, teacher." In a suit of stark black, he gestures wildly, eyes wide with barely contained fury. "Are you insane?" he snarls, voice dripping with contempt. "Do you really think you're on the same level as me?" A pause. "But you're no match for me," he sneers. "I'm sorry to say this," he continues, his tone cold and dismissive. "They are said to be the strongest when it comes to warfare, surrounded by ice shards, her face set in fierce determination, splitting rain. Ice blade." Abel stands amidst chaos, her eyes wide with unyielding resolve. Abel lunges forward, sword slicing through the air. The teacher counters with a powerful kick. Slow. He wrenches his body away from the strike. A narrow miss, pathetic. A flicker of satisfaction crosses his mentor's face as he watches, knowing full well what it would take to turn this weakling into something more. In her pigtails, she weeps in fear as an old man's voice breaks the silence. "If only you'd trained with me for 10 more years, you could have been the world's most powerful magician." Abel leaps forward, sword slicing through the air with a fierce cry as, "That's not enough to stop me," he roars. "You call that an attack?" Abel stands amidst the razor-sharp blades, the teacher's eyes blazing with intensity. "I won't give you a moment's respite." "Shit!" Abel crashes against the wall, blood blossoming. The villain towers above, eyes blazing. "Are you sure you want to look away?" Ah! Shattered wall and debris whirl around him, his eyes wide in terror. "It's all over now," his evil teacher's voice echoes. "What's wrong?" He gasps. Cough. The girl's cry echoes through the tension. The warrior stands firm. Arms crossed, back turned. A smug captain watches, amber eyes mocking. "That's the best you can do," he taunts. "I guess I was wrong," she whispers, dejected. The villain laughs, maniacally. A gasp of shock escapes, sweat beads glisten on the forehead, mouth agape. The warrior tightens his grip, gaze intensifying, as if expecting a struggle that never comes. "I thought you'd resist more. What's the matter?" A hand slowly rises to conceal a face, as a wide-eyed warrior stands frozen in shock. "What?" His hand stretches out, eyes widening in shock. "Huh?" A man in a crisp suit and tie sprints, his arms flailing wildly. "What's going on?" The teacher's eyes widen in shock. Abel approaches with a chilly expression. "Did you have a good dream?" With blonde hair and a black coat, she gazed in shock. "So, this was all a dream? How did I start seeing things? No way. You're saying you used the magic I developed?" "Oh dear. I'm sure this magic wasn't perfected yet." In the dim light, the man in the suit shifts uneasily as his masked counterpart looms ominously before him. "I read the research paper on illusion magics that you developed." The air grows thick with tension. The theory was too useless and not suitable for practical use, so I improved it. A pause. "At any rate, I had plenty of time in preparation for this day." The Tevil teacher, shocking eyes and white hair aglow, stands defiantly. "You monster." She stands at the door, gaze fixed outside, determination etched on her face. He smiles, lifting his hand in a plea. You monster. I don't want you. This is my wish. Abel lunges forward, sword slicing through the air. The teacher meets his blade with a determined expression, but the attack breaches the defense. The evil teacher's defeat marks the end of. The girl clings to the warrior, both drenched in sweat, relief and exhaustion mingling. A loud, agonizing scream echoes as a massive crackle. Amidst the chimneys and balconies of this charming town, silence. Then I'll recount what transpired next. In the bustling square, two men peruse a newspaper, one wearing a hat, the other a mask. As a crowd gathers around them, he was once a court magician, directly controlled by the government, and his exploits soon became public knowledge. After triumphing over my teacher, I chose to reveal the secrets of his struggles. The old man slumps forward, clutching his chest tightly. Papers scatter around him like forgotten dreams. A half-empty boy in uniform stands confidently as leaves gently fall. In a tranquil forest glade, Abel looks upward, lost in thought. He murmurs softly, "It's only natural." Yet, gratitude lingers in his heart for the man who changed everything. At the foot of the hill, a solitary silhouette peers upward toward an ancient tree. A path wins its way to its branches. Without this, I would have perished in utter ignorance. In a hooded cloak, she extends a hand, eyes glowing with warmth. Snowflakes dance around as she recalls the comforting grip on that cold night. In a gesture that feels both fragile and defiant, the man in white extends his hand to the hooded figure. I'll probably never forget the look of my life. For the sake of my life. In a sunlit field, a girl in a crisp white dress smiles, her laughter barely contained. Across from her, a boy in a dark suit stands with a furrowed brow, his eyes searching hers. Abel, well, there you are. So this is where you were. The young girl whispers, "You're leaving this town, the den and sword emblem, is it true?" The warrior turns with a serious expression. A horse-drawn carriage rolls through the cobblestone streets as a man guides it with purpose. Beside him, a woman in a pristine white dress stands, looking utterly surprised. Even I didn't expect this. Maria seems to have been chosen by the most famous nobleman in this city. Her gaze locks on a distant horizon as she murmurs, "I'm leaving this city today." In the quiet embrace of the graveyard, she faces him, their serious gazes locking. "You must return to where you belong. I am occupied with final preparations." With wide eyes, she pleads, "Take me with you." He looks down, speechless. Beneath the sprawling branches, she meets his gaze as he speaks. "You're just a liability now." He pauses, his voice heavy with regret. "I can't." Girl and warrior face each other across the path, tension building as they stare. She averts her gaze, cheeks burning. The boy's serious look pierces the silence. "Never let me see you around here again." Young man in a suit gazes down, tears welling in his eyes as a girl stands on the distant graveyard. She shouldn't have to sacrifice her joy. Maria possesses a magical gift. She grips her hands tightly, tears falling freely as a fierce determination burns in her gaze. And when that moment comes, I will grow stronger. I will be there for Abel once more. In the quiet graveyard she stands, hands over her face as tears fall, a mix of frustration, anger, and sadness overwhelming her. A delicate paper crane floats in the air, its wings barely catching the breeze as if holding a secret. A whisper of a voice. I'd be 100 years old if I saw this again. In a tailored suit, the boy stands before a winding tree-lined path, his gaze fixed on the horizon, wishing for eternal happiness. On a balcony under starlight she stands, lost in thought. The beginning fades into memory. Why did dreams cease to hold your presence? As the bird settles on its branch, spring and summer fade, then autumn whispers its presence, urging a change. 2 years. Silent echoes of my past now fade into distant memories as I stand away from the place that once held me. Warrior crouches low, muscles tensing, while the Able points upwards, eyes wide with growing concern. In the dim depths below the royal city, I stand amidst the shadows of the sewage facility. In a long coat, he strides up the grand staircase, each step echoing, then meets eyes with another in a similar cloak. Welcome back, Able. She eagerly gestures towards the sizable rodent, her eyes sparkling with triumph. Look at this! My catch is far larger than yours. I just dispatched a hefty black rat. In this moment of anticipation, 2 children and a warrior stand side by side, the warrior's finger pointing towards something hidden, as if revealing a secret that has kept them alive in darkness for time immemorial. In a makeshift shelter, children huddle close, some faces marred by sadness, others flickering with hope. This world is harsh, not sweet enough for a child's innocence. Many have lost their parents in the war, forced from their homes. Now, they must rely on each other to survive. Character frowns, worry lines deepening as they mutter. Don't forget the spell to cleanse them first. Rats can harbor deadly diseases. A towering silhouette blocks the light. Arms folded, 2 girls leap up, palms raised in joyful anticipation. A boy crouches low, eyes fixed on the scene unfolding before him. In the dim light of the basement, 3 figures stand silent. One cradles a bundle, another clutches a piece of cloth, while a third watches with eyes filled with worry. I first entered this place where their lives were in shambles. Each day, these children fought over scarce shelter and meager food, their voices echoing through the darkness as they struggled for survival. Children cluster together, smiles wide, eyes fixed on what lies beyond. That's why I taught them magic for survival. The boy meets Abel's gaze, his eyes resolute. The warrior strides down the shadowed hall, his massive sword by his side. I need peace until darkness claims the day. Before a sprawling wall, adorned with enigmatic symbols and cogs, the figure pauses, lost in thought. How did I end up accepting this underground existence without question? The character approaches the grand, intricately carved door. A deep breath, then, with determination, they push it open. What lies beyond? Abel rests on the bed, lost in the pages of his book, a content smile playing on his lips. It's probably just because it suited him so well. A newspaper headline looms large, Fear. The Strange Deaths of 18 Demons, with a smaller subheadline beneath questioning if Wreckage of the Night is to magic organization Wreckage of the Night involved. A hand cradles an ancient tome as its owner studies it with unwavering focus. The Wreckage of the Night looms as the ultimate destination, a beacon of power and prestige. In a suit, he stands, his expression grave. Text bubbles surround him, hinting at secrets. When I delved into his history, I discovered his ties to the Wreckage of the Night. How did this man, born to modest means and trained as a teacher, ascend to become the government's direct court magician? Silhouettes stand united, arms raised, facing the unknown. Here only one desire binds them, to make you a sorcerer. Yet in their ranks, such concerns fade away. Race, gender, nation, and age hold no sway. On a city map, a speech bubble offers rewards and a future position. Perform well, and you might earn a substantial prize. And a guaranteed spot ahead. A hand reaches up, tears down the poster, eyes filled with resolve. Not for becoming a court magician like my teacher, but for something else entirely. For the sprawling city map, he points with resolve, yet in testing his limits, few options could match this setting. In a dimly lit room, one figure stands resolute, while the other wears a look of concern. Oh dear, a new place, a new goal. Grand building glows under the full moon, windows aglow. I'll find the thief and bring him to justice. The night whispers secrets. In her fur-lined jacket, she grins and gestures towards the boss as a close-up of a laced boot plays. Boss, let's grab some grub. Amidst the shelves of knowledge, the young man looks up in surprise as the older man draws near. I'm no match for boss. Not yet, JK. A figure climbs the ladder. Another watches from below, a mixture of anticipation and envy in their gaze. We don't often venture out like this. I've called them all to meet us. They're supposed to be waiting for us at the top. Against the wall, a ladder casts a shadow. If we venture out carelessly, we risk danger. In the dim light of the room, they stare at one another with solemn faces. We'll venture out together just once every 10 days. A united front faces the horizon, ready to face whatever comes next. Not done yet. This is only the start. In the hushed glow of twilight, a crowd gathers around a speaker cloaked in shadow. Their words echo through the dim room as they explain that the collected provisions will nourish the community stored away below ground until the next bounty brings relief to their waiting hands. The group stands united, shivering slightly under their thick coats. Determined faces turn towards the captain. You ready to go? A chorus of resolute voices answers, yeah. We're all raring to go. In a dimly lit room, children in futuristic uniforms stand, some with determined faces, others showing nervous glances. You got that, I exclaim. All right, you guys, and don't ever look at it. No more than necessary. You can't take whatever you want. He covers his mouth, eyes wide. All right, he whispers to himself. Time to go. With a raised hand, the warrior summons energy and shouts disperse. Through crumbling debris, they leap, determination etched on every face. Let's go, guys! His boot crushes the earth, dust billowing upward as he strides forward. A shadowy figure wearing a skull mask casts a glance over their shoulder. The officer watches, confusion etched on his face. Behind the counter, the fishmonger frowns, eyes wide with bewilderment as customers murmur about vanished eggs and unexpected shortages of leftover fish. Did they run out of sale items? The ones meant to be last. What's left in here now? The girl and warrior sprint ahead, eyes fixed on the finish line, determination etched in every stride. Another incredible catch awaits. In the shadows of a dim alley, a figure clutches a glowing orb as comrades stand around him. Theft may be evil, but in this case, it's the only choice to save the children's lives. A heavy boot strikes the earth, sending ripples of shockwaves through the soil. A hush falls as the group forms a circle, eyes fixed on a central figure, who looks both surprised and on guard. You rats, there you are! In the dim light, she presses a finger to her lips, lost in silent contemplation. Have I ever seen such masks, Could the merchants have brought reinforcements? If only I could have prepared better. Let us move out and face them. A powerful force strikes, sending them back, their eyes wide with shock. Rick watches as guards shuffle into position. Even if one of us must fall, what matters is that the plan succeeds. Don't overreach. Another day. Another chance. I won't let Mr. Abel's anger change this. The soft glow of candlelight, a young girl dressed as a maid shifts uneasily, her eyes scanning the shadows. Who could be hiding there? We'll just have to wait until tonight, huh? A girl in the forefront shows surprise as the warrior behind leaps mid-air, clutching a book tightly. Is that a girl? Short hair? From her hiding spot, she watches the distant figures. I'll handle them, she whispers, then adds, be cautious. In a maid outfit, she raises her hand and ice crystals swirl into existence. Ice! A girl in a white hoodie gapes. The warrior soars through the air, shouting, Mr. Abel? Not here? Where are they? That's a long range. You must be more careful. The masked warrior lunges, grabs her arm. Both tumble backward. We're being targeted. From that building! She stands there, confident, clutching a document as if it's her lifeline. Two pairs of eyes widen in shock, directed at her. The woman who attacked us didn't look much older than me. A flicker of surprise dances across my face. What the hell was that? She soars over the obstacle. Ice arrows swirling. How would you like that? You're going to get us killed. Keep moving. Submerged, the character fights for breath, limbs thrashing wildly. Another watches, eyes wide with worry and fear. No way we can keep that much water out. Mr. Abel, if you don't stop, we'll be hit. A young man in a school uniform leaps forward, his determination clear, as figures crumple to the ground behind him. Amidst swirling debris and roaring combat, the young man holds his ground. Activate magic. A colossal boulder plummets to the ground, sending a cloud of dust and doom. Eyes fixed on the task ahead, a determined glint in them. But the plan of creating a blind spot with an earthen hall doesn't seem destined to hold for long. Amidst the ruins, one warrior looks taken aback as the other asserts their resolve. Let's retreat for a while. We're in trouble. Huh? Okay. Oh well. Astonished, she watches the pie plummet from above. It crashes to the earth with a thud. Gone. No more apples for us. I warned you about greed. A young man studies an enigmatic object, lost in thought. I wonder who she is. In an alley bathed in twilight, a young girl peers up at the starless sky. Her gaze meets mine as two figures, a warrior and an old man, disappear into the shadows. This is how Daytona and I met. It's the first time I've encountered another magician of my age, wielding such powerful magic. She stands there, just like me, a magician around the same age. Through the cobbled path lined with ancient stones, shadows of people move. A brilliant light beckons at the end. I'll find you. And I'll bring you back. Outside the closed bookstore, he gazes at the note. This place is shut too. I see. A boy with short hair and a determined look stands before a grand building, his eyes surveying the sprawling cityscape. It's a tough world we live in. She strolls, leash in hand, book tucked close, then whispers, I'll catch you. You're in for a surprise. In that quaint corner of the world, the old couple's bookstore held a special charm. I wandered among shelves, brimming with enchanted tales, each page whispering secrets. In return, I walked their loyal, weathered old dog. It was paradise for my young imagination. In the shadowed alley, the youth hesitates, his gaze shifting. Could this be? The whispers spoke of a new magic shop in the outskirts of King's Landing. Yet doubt lingers as he approaches. Is this where I should begin my search? Beelzebub, the shopkeeper, stands rigidly in his cluttered store, eyes narrowing as he confronts a visitor with a harsh scowl. What do you want from my store? Welcome, you filthy rat. You are a customer. You're a rat, and you think you're better than me. The warrior grabs the girl by the collar, her eyes wide with fear. Get out now, he growls. I'll make sure you never come near my store again. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Good grief, that's one hell of a thing you've got there. I don't even steal anything from here. I don't even steal. In the forefront she stands with resolve, while behind a diminutive form radiates an air of quiet confidence. Blue hair, blue eyes. I've seen her before, that witch from last night. A shadowy figure towers menacingly over a startled warrior. Huh? What the hell is going on here? Whoa, man. The girl in a maid outfit gestures wildly, her voice firm and clear. You can't discriminate against customers based on their appearance. The muscular man in an apron looks down at something in his hands, his expression unreadable. That's none of your business. He pauses, then adds softly, ma'am. This boy has the most repulsive. In a long coat, the character stands, holding a book tightly, their stance resolute. Under the giant's boot, the warrior's eyes widen in shock. You're not ready. The girl in the hoodie and the warrior delve into the ancient book's secrets. The woman behind them frowns, clearly disbelieving his fluency in such arcane knowledge. He leans forward, eyes locked on the pages. I'm sorry about my earlier outburst. You're studying magic too. That's a grimoire, in an ancient language, right? A moment of silence. Amidst swirling symbols, an elderly figure cradles his staff, his voice steady yet filled with wisdom. This ancient script, he begins, is a language of magic, used in times long past, one of the most challenging to decipher, even for those who know it well. A girl in a pristine white dress offers a warm smile, while a boy in a uniform appears slightly taken aback. I'd be happy to be your friend, she says softly. It's Abel. Her face lights up with pure delight, eyes shut tight in bliss. Great. Abel, she thinks. Then, softly, would you like to have tea with me afterwards? A character speaks sincerely. I'd like to apologize for earlier. But the other looks puzzled, clearly caught off guard by the sudden admission. In a silent library, the girl in her school uniform looks up at the figure in the dark robe. Then, she detonates. Amidst chaos, characters act out. Doesn't realize it was me who faced her last night. In a softly illuminated chamber, the girl in her pristine white gown and the warrior in his shadowy black attire exchange words. If that's what you mean, then okay. Maybe I can use her. Don't mind my outfit. Besides, you look great. Appearance means nothing to me. In a moment of unexpected vulnerability, she blushes and hides her face behind her hands, a soft flush spreading across her cheeks. In the background, another girl watches with a puzzled expression, her brow furrowed in confusion. Hee, your eyes are such a beautiful color, aren't they? Her eyes, a fiery amber, like those of demons, silently tell a tale of fear and persecution in her world. This is the first time anyone's ever said that to me. In the dimly lit hallway, the girl in the crisp maid uniform smiles warmly as she guides her companion down the corridor. Follow me, she says softly yet confidently. I'll show you the best places to eat. Perhaps she grew up amidst luxury and privilege. On the bustling city street, the girl raises her arm. Let's go. ready for an encounter with the future water-braved Etna.